Morning Facebook, Jackie Broman here on a Monday as usual. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I know that people are starting to get sick of being locked down or semi-locked down because we're not as restricted as some countries. But if we're going to have a relaxation of the conditions, we need to make sure there's no more flare-ups. And there has been, unfortunately. I think what the government wants is us to stay in single figures for new cases, but over the weekend it's gone into double figures again, unfortunately. And you know, I think there's a lot of people around not abiding by social distancing still, so even once we start relaxing it, we still have to be socially distanced, and we still have to be using the disinfectant and the hand wipes and the cleaning of the office and not shaking hands and all those things, because the virus hasn't gone away. But anyway, off my soapbox, because I want to get back to a sense of normality in life as well, and we can't do that unless everyone behaves. But today I wanted to talk about the National Employment Standards. And again, this is fairly relevant at the moment because of so much uncertainty around employment. Australia has some of the best employment conditions in the world. We have legislated 12 basic rights or standards that should be applied to full-time and part-time employees across the country. And you can find out more about it on the Fair Work Ombudsman website. And in fact, they have a great little double-sided brochure, which I'm going to read off some of the standards from. But the reason, I suppose, why it's relevant is that at the moment I'm hearing stories of employees being stood down when the business has no right to do that. And I'm hearing stories of employees getting the JobKeeper, but they're not working. So if they're getting JobKeeper, they still have to work or take reasonable directions from their employer. It's not time just to go and sit at home. And if you can work from home, great. Now, national employment standards. So unlike other countries, we have lots of employment standards built in to protect employees in Australia. And the people who can access these employment standards are usually full-time or part-time employees. Casuals have some of the standards, but not all of them. Obviously, casual employees don't get paid annual leave or parental leave or sick leave. But we all know full-time and part-time permanent employees get 4 weeks of annual leave a year. Not many countries allow paid annual leave. Personal leave or sick leave, we get 10 days a year. Carers leave, you get 2 unpaid days of carers leave per occasion. So this is like a close member of the family passing away, and you might have 2 deaths in 1 year. You get 2 days each of those events, unpaid. It's not to say that you can't take some of your paid leave as well. Compassionate leave, you've also got some compassionate leave, 2 days of paid leave per year. Family and domestic violence leave has been introduced as well. So you get 5 unpaid days every 12 months. Community service leave, so obviously we in Australia value being able to do community service, so that includes jury duty, it includes SES or CFA volunteering or any of those sorts of things. So 10 days of paid leave or unpaid leave is required with make-up time for community service. Long service leave is built in as well. That varies from state to state depending on how long you've been in work or what sort of industry you're in. Parental leave. So if you've been working with an employee for 12 months, you're entitled to 12 months unpaid leave. It basically guarantees you've got a place to come back to. You can extend the 12 months out to 24 months if it's agreed by your employer. So again, that's unpaid. The Commonwealth Government gives some payment during the unpaid period, so Centrelink can top up some pay for a while. There are some employers who've gone a step further, and they actually offer their staff paid parental leave, not necessarily for 12 months, but for a certain period, again, to keep good staff on, but that's not a guarantee, and it's a particularly huge burden for a small business, so don't expect paid leave. The maximum hours of work. So many people might not be aware of this one, but for full-time workers, an employer can't reasonably expect full-time to be more than 38 hours a week. There can be some reasonable additional hours, but it can't be regular additional hours. Public holidays, obviously you get paid days off. A notice of termination. So in many countries you don't have to have a termination period or notice period, but in Australia you certainly do, and that varies between 1 and 5 weeks depending on how long you've been working for someone and your age as well. And then finally, redundancy pay. So in not every country employees are entitled to redundancy, but they certainly are in Australia if the position is truly made redundant. And again, 4 to 16 weeks redundancy pay based on, again, how long the employee has been employed and what their age are. So there you go. National employment standards. They're built in. They don't have to be in your employment contract. They cannot be contracted out of. It's unfair if an employer tries to make you agree to something different. So Fair Work Ombudsman is the place to go for more information if you wanted to do a bit more research into that. Otherwise, again, my message from the beginning, we really want restrictions to be released, so please keep complying to make sure the cases stay below double figures, the new cases every day. If they keep rising and we have community transmission, then we're going to be locked down for longer. I really want to get back to normal, and I assume most other people do as well, but we can't do that unless we still are careful and still do the social distancing. And the other point to note is that if you're getting JobKeeper payments, you still have to work. So don't take advantage of the circumstances, don't take advantage of your employer who's probably doing it tough, particularly if they're a small business. That's my message for a Monday. So I will be back again next Monday, 10 o'clock, to give you another short snippet of information. All these videos are then saved onto our page, so you can go back and have a look at all the videos that are done there. If any of them are relevant, by all means tag someone in them or send it to them as a direct message in case it's a privacy issue. And if you have any questions or you want me to talk on something specific, by all means message me through Facebook or email me. Otherwise, I hope you have a really great week, and I'll catch you next time.